Okay, so let's spend some time looking at the 18 therapies. This is a really nice set to wake up the body. We're going to do it, run through it once, just going through all the moves. We'll do it a second time, talking about each one, bringing some specific points to mind. And then we'll do it a third time, and you can follow along with us. We'll make sure that one of us is facing forward and the other is you can see from behind so that you've got a good view of what we're doing. Okay, so start out standing, shoulder width distance, comfortable, feet on parallel, toes in a line. And we're going to start with some motions with the head. So turning to the left and then to the right. Do that a second time. And then when you come back to center, we'll do up and down. Now you're going to bring in the arms and drawing them toward you and circling back out as your head turns one way and the other. And then up and down. Okay, now interlock your thumbs, hands come up, and let your eyeballs follow one hand as it circles, and then the other. Hands on lower back, coming up your back, under your armpits, backs of the hands come together, then the palms, and then down your center line. This one, the hands start in the same position, but you're going to free first the left and turn as it comes up beside you. Now your hands interlaced, comes up the center, turn palm out, oval with your head in it, opening to the left upper corner twice. Let your hands down, do it again on the other side. Hands and fists, open your left palm facing out as you turn and spiral the body. That sends the arms straight out, and you're looking over your right shoulder. And then the reverse. Okay, now you go wider than shoulder width. Put your hands on your hips. Let the thumbs be in front so you can feel your hip joints. And we're going to start in the back and rotate the hips in a circle 4 times. And then the other direction. And come up. Back to shoulder width, thumbs interlaced, hands come up, open out at the sides, palm up, turn over, palm down, and then let the hands and head drop toward the ground. Bend your knees to stand up. Okay, this one's funky 70-30s. Hands and fists, feet wider than shoulder width. Sit into your right leg and turn to the left. Left foot pivots on the heel. As you shift, the inside hand opens. And the other side. Okay, now feet close together. They don't have to be smashed together, but feeling like you're standing on one thing. Interlace your fingers, hands come up, oval with your head in it, and then just take that oval toward the ground, making a nice C shape with your body. Doesn't matter how far you go, just make the shape. Always bend your knees to stand back up. Same foot position. Rest your hands on your knees. This is rotating the ankles. So as you squat, you let the ankles Make the rotation, keeping the feet flat on the ground. We'll go 4 times in one direction, squatting in front and standing back up, and then the other direction. And bend your knees to stand back up. Okay, wider than shoulder width, hands on your hips. Sit into the left leg and open to the right. And then the other side. Making sure that your knees don't get pulled the direction of the turn. Keep the knees pointing straight ahead, especially the knee that you're putting your weight into. Back to feet together, folding up the body. Hands rest on your knees, squat. Doesn't matter how low you go, hang over, and then stand up away from your hands. And then let the rest of the torso come up. Okay, this is the one we call the funky African dance step. Feet wider than shoulder width, hands on opposite knees. You're going to squat and bring one hand up and follow it. Stand back up, then squat again for the other side. And bend your knees to stand up. Okay. Step forward. All the weight on the front leg, arms come up, head follows. Head straightens level. Hands come down like you're touching the walls. Other knee comes up. And back down. And then everybody's favorite, the hero stroll. Step out, sit down to put that foot on the ground, weight transfers, come up the front leg, taking the back heel away, down the front leg and shifting, taking the front ball away. Back into the front leg, and step. then just stand 50-50, and you're done. That's the 18 therapies. So let's look at the first couple. Turning the head. So this is not, all of these involve making comfortable shapes. So that's what you want to focus on, is the shape. You're not going to the ultimate extreme. So on this one, just feel your head being able to rotate. And it's not just the head. I mean, the rest of the body isn't moving, but you should be able to feel that all the way down to your feet is involved in the motion of turning your head, not simply turning your head from side to side like you're saying no. And then up and down, same thing. I'm not reaching back, I'm just rotating. Think about the rocker-shaped bones at the bottom of your skull and the top of your spine, and that you're rotating around that. And as it goes down, same thing. It's rotating around the little knob there at where the head and the spine attach. Now we'll do the same shapes with the arms involved. So let your arms come up round. I'm not reaching up above me, out in front of me. And this is not Tai Chi, so you don't have to worry about bringing your hands back. Let this open the chest as well as you turn. So the hands come close to the body, and this is the place where your elbows go behind your center line a little bit to really expand the chest. And then same deal up and down, feeling that nice roundness of the head going up and down. And trying to meter what your hands are doing so that you're at your full extension when you reach the top, and you're not closed up until you reach the bottom.
The next ones. These first set are all about the neck and the shoulders, so the next ones continue that. So start out, just take your hands and put them together so that the thumbs are kind of together. Let the arms come up as they rise. Feel the whole front of the body opening here. So as you're doing this, everything is opening. Then open the hands, the shoulders drop, the elbows drop, the hand drops, and watch first your left hand as it comes down. And then I'm looking up, I bring my head back down, I watch the right hand as it comes down. While you're doing this, I'm not turning my head and watching my hands. Have you ever really looked at your hands? What I'm doing is letting my gaze follow it, so my eyeballs are rolling around in my head as I do this. So let that really follow all the way through there. The next two involve the back. So what you're going to do in this first one is you take your hands on the backs of the palms attached to your lower back, and you're going to draw with your hands up along your back. And so you want to bring this up until it's right underneath your armpits. Then let the two hands come together. As they come up, the backs stick so that when they arrive at the top, the palms are just ready to go. And see how I'm looking up. I close the palms and I drop the hands right down along my center line. So what you're doing here is first you're drawing the line. There's big muscles that connect the lower part of the body to the waist and connect the waist to the arms. And you're drawing that line along them. And then what you do is you let them totally lengthen and come back to rest. The last minute, the hands open in this kind of a shape where the thumb and the forefingers are touching, and there's an empty space over the dantian. We are told that Professor Chung said, you shouldn't be like this very often because that kind of short circuits energetically. So when we do this, we're leaving that space open. Okay, then twice more, all of these are in fours. I come up, I draw the line across the back, I come under my armpits, Everything opens up, the hands close, everything drops down, feeling that center line. And again. Fourth time, all the way up, close the door, drop down through the center line. Open over the dantian. Now we're going to start from the same place, and this time what we're going to do is we're going to spiral the body. As Beth said, this isn't Tai Chi Chuan, so it doesn't have the same restrictions that we would have in the form where the shoulders need to totally remain over the hips. You're going to allow yourself to turn. So see, my shoulders have gone further than my hips. As I do that, I'm going to bring my arm up right in front of my body. So I'm doing this motion. But as I do that, the body is turning so that it looks like the arm is going over here to the side. But look, if I bring the body back and I don't move the arm, it's still right in front of me. So watch for the temptation to see this and think that it's some kind of horrible thing like this, where I'm reaching up behind myself. It's not. You free a hand, the whole body spirals as the hand comes up. Watch it, I'm looking at the hand, and then it all comes back down. I free the other hand. The whole body turns as the hands come up. I'm watching it, it comes back down. All of these are in fours, usually 2 and 2, starting with the left, then going to the right.
Okay, start with your fingers interlaced, palms up in front of you, and you're going to bring them up your center line, right around solar plexus. They want to turn out, and they end up in a oval with your head inside it. So you can see me from the side here too. The arms are not up over my head. They're out here. And you're going to go to the upper left corner twice. This is not this, where I'm bending over. This is opening up. I like to do this where I feel that the side that I'm opening to, so here I'm going to go to the left. I feel like my left side is stretching up and my right side is hanging away from it down to the ground rather than that I'm bending over. So everything is opening up toward the upper corner, and you let your hands down and do it on the other side. And now we'll go to the right twice. Same deal. Let yourself open up, letting the other side go, so that you get a nice open stretch feeling on both sides. No crunching. Okay. Next one, hands and fists. Open your left palm and face it out. This is a spiral that's going to run through the whole body. So as you spiral to the right, your left arm goes straight out. Your right arm stays with you. Everything spirals, your head, even your eyeballs. Notice that I am not doing this. The elbow with the fist that stays with you is just going to stay with you. Now we'll do it on the other side. Spiraling, letting even your eyeballs spiral in your head so that you're really looking over your shoulder. Keeping the elbow of the fist hand right by your side. Okay, this one, wider than shoulder width. You want your thumbs in front so that you're feeling your hip sockets here. Remember, your hip joint isn't out here, it's in here where your leg attaches. This is rotating the hips. That means the hips do the movement. The torso and the head stay relatively stable. They only move enough to keep your balance. So there's two ways to perceive this. One is that I'm rolling my body around. The other is that I'm rolling my hips around. And that's what you want to do. So yeah, my head moves a little bit, but that's just in service of my balance. I'm making the motion in the hips. Trying to get as much roundness as possible, noticing the places where it's hard to stay round. Your hip joints are round. They're ball and socket. So let the whole ball rotate. One of the ways that I like to think about this is that I'm making a half circle from behind to in front and another half circle from in front to behind, so that I avoid feeling like I'm cutting the corners and squaring off. If I think about this being the front of the circle, then I'm more likely to make a complete round feeling and less likely to cut off the corners and make it turn more square. So really go for as round as you can get it.
Okay, this next section starts to work the waist and the legs. The nice thing about the 18 therapies is they work through the body. The first ones are about the neck, shoulders, chest, working the waist. Now we're going to get down into the hips and the legs. In a bunch of these, we do some squats. And it's really important that when you squat, when you stand back up, you always bend your knees first. So if I lean over like this, when I stand up, I have to bend my knees first. This brings my center of gravity back over my feet, and then I can stand up through the body, versus bending over with the weight of my torso out in front and trying to pull this weight up. If I try to pull this weight up like this without bending my knees, this is really hard on the lower back. So, we will mention this, but it's really critical that when you are in one of these positions, first you bend the knees and then stand up through the body, rather than having the weight of the torso out in front and trying to pull that up. Bend the knees, stand up through the body. So we'll mention that again, but this is the right place to make a big deal out of it. So this first one, fingers are interlaced again. Let the hands come up like we did earlier. Bring the head back down. Allow the hands to drop, palm up. As they dropped, the shoulder dropped, the elbow dropped, the palm dropped. And now fold over the body. See how the hands come with me. And now what I want to do is I want to let my arms just hang down towards the ground. Doesn't matter where you go. Then bend your knees, bring the hands back together and stand all the way up. When I do this, my scapula, my shoulder blades have risen up along the body. As I do this, they fall back down along the body. Then I fold over, and now let them slide along the ribs towards your head. When you do that, you'll feel your arms feeling like they're getting longer. All the way back up. At this point, my shoulder blades have come up. My shoulder blades drop. I turn over, and I let the shoulder blades slide on the ribs towards the head. Once more, so I've got 4, all the way up, coming back down. Bending over, letting the arms slide off the body towards the ground, bending the knees to stand up. The next one is the one we call Funky 70-30s, and it involves a spiral through the body. So I start out with a wide stance. I do the fists and the elbows at my side thing like just a couple ago. Shift into the right leg and turn, shifting into the left for a 70-30 and turning the body, letting the front hand open. So notice what's happened here. My hips have turned part way, my body has turned more, my shoulders have turned more, so that I'm pretty much facing the direction I'm going. I'm not leaning. I'm pretty much upright, and the fist has opened up. And then I come back. Now we're going to do it on the other side. Sit into the left, turn to the right, a spiral that goes through the body all the way out to the fist, and back. In none of the 18 therapies do we hold any of the postures. So they're all about the movement as you do this. So feel that movement happening, the spiral going through the body. Keeping both feet flat on the ground, 70% of the weight in the front, and then back to 50-50.
Okay, this one and the next one are with your feet close together. Leave a little bit of space. Don't cram your feet right into each other. But you do want to feel like your weight is dropping through both of them as if it was one. Fingers interlaced, palms up. As it comes up the body, it turns palm out around your solar plexus, keeps going out, and make an oval with your head inside it that faces toward you, not up over your head, and also not stretched out. See how that takes away the nice roundness. Let it have a nice round feeling. And then you're going to make a C shape so that you're moving toward your feet, letting the spine make a C. Doesn't matter how low you go. Bend your knees to stand up and come back up. I'll do it to the side as well, so you can see the feeling of the C that the spine is making. That's more important than how low you go. Just make the shape and hang over. When you come back up, make sure to bend your knees first. A couple more times. When you follow your hands up over your head, then make your head level before you start making the next motion. And one more time. Okay, next one, same foot position, rest your hands on your knees. Don't lean on your knees, just rest them there so that everything is free moving. And this one works the ankles. That's what you care about. It's not about the knees. The knees just happen to follow the turning of the ankles. So hands gently on your knees. You're going to squat and circle in the ankles. The way you know that you're moving your ankles is because your feet stay flat on the ground. So keep the tripod and the bubbling well on each foot in contact the whole time. And you'll do this 4 times one way and then the other way. Notice that I'm squatting as the knees come around toward the front and standing up as they come around to the back. They're not ever straightening out, but they do follow the up and down of the body. Bend your knees to stand up.
Okay, this next one is about actually opening up the hip joints. So you're going to start out with your feet wider than shoulder wide, toes parallel, both pointing forward. You're going to sit into one leg, open that hip joint, and turn towards the other leg. That'll close that hip joint. So as I do this, as I sit down and turn, my whole body is rotating, my weight goes into this leg, and then I come back 50-50. So some of the things that happen when people do this is they let their feet slide around. And so that keeps this hip joint from actually getting worked. I want to sit down and turn towards it as I'm doing that. The other thing that's really important is watching the knee of the leg you're sitting on. So when I sit down, I keep that alignment from hip joint through knee to bottom of foot rather than allowing the knee to fall in. When we're doing this in class, we only do it twice on each side. It's relatively safe. But if you're going to practice these, this is a great opportunity to really get that working. Sitting down, turning the whole torso, making sure the knee proceeds along the line of the toes, and then coming back up. And then the next one is the one we call folding up the body. So this is a squat as deep as you can go. You're going to start out with the feet close together. Put your hands on your knees. And when you squat with any of these, the squat ends when your butt stops moving. A lot of times what happens is people want to get down lower, and so then they'll actually rise their butt to try to go down lower. No, the squat ends when your butt stops moving. So go as low as you go. You don't have to go farther. The feet stay flat on the ground. Allow the hands to come off the knees, and then stand up. So you sit down, you put your hands on your knees, you squat, the butt keeps lowering. When the butt stops, you're done. Let the hands hang, stand up. Twice more. Squatting, folding up the body. As long as my butt is going down, I can go down. Putting my hands down, standing up the rest of the way. Once more. Sitting down, butt moves. Everything is going down. Standing up.
This is the one we call the funky African dance move. You're going to start with your feet wider than shoulder width and bend over, gently rest your hands on your knees, crossing your hands. And what you're going to do is, it's a lot like that first one, not first, but the earlier one where the hand comes up and the body follows it. Same kind of thing. I'm going to release my hand and turn my body to follow the hand, and that's how the shape is comfortable. I'm not doing this and reaching up behind myself. I know it seems like that might be what's happening, but it's not. I'm turning, following my hand, and see if I step out of it, it's just right here. Do it 2 more times. So you free your hand, you squat as the hand is coming up and rotate the body to follow the hand. And then as it comes back down, you can straighten your legs, but don't lock the knees ever. And then the same thing on the other side. This will have a nice open feeling through your torso. This next one's a little athletic, if you will, or a little flashy. So you're going to step forward with one leg. I always start with the left in these. You come up, let your head follow your hands, and then let the head come level. The hands feel the walls of the room. That's going to help you keep your balance as you bring your knee up. Gather it within your hands so that it hangs. And then as your foot goes back down, your hands go up. Come back down and into the other leg. Stepping out, reaching up, level ahead, hands come down, they gather your knee, hold it, and then let it back down. When I shift into the back leg, I really like letting the back foot, the heel reach for the ground. That's a nice stretch for plantar fasciitis too. So go ahead and use that moment to get a nice stretch through your leg. So the foot goes back, and then reach with the heel to get it back down. And once more. And the last one is the hero stroll. So probably a lot of you have done this one with us without the whole 18 therapies. You're going to step out, heel first, sit down through the leg that you're standing on. That puts the other one on the ground, and now you're ready to come up the front leg, and as you come up, it gradually peels the heel off the ground. And then you sit back down, the front leg, reaching with the heel of the back foot. That allows you to transfer the weight into the back leg, and as you do that and stand up, it gradually peels the front ball off the ground. And then you can come back down. Again, you're stretching away from the heel, and then you let it go. I'll do it to the side once. So you step out, sit down, come up the front leg. That gradually peels the heel off the ground. I'm not doing this. You don't want to launch yourself. Let this be something that just gradually takes the heel off the ground because you're standing up. And then as you sit back down, go through the front leg, reach with the heel of the back foot, and then let that lead the weight transfer and come up the back leg, and that means you're moving a little bit away from the ball of the front foot, and that makes it come off the ground. I'm not doing this. You're not activating it. So let it just be a gradual and gentle movement away from the leg. At this point, my leg is stretched. I just let it go, and it steps. Do 2 more. Away from the heel, back down, away from the ball. keeping the body upright the whole time. At this point here, it's really nice feeling to have this leg stretch, and then you just let your hip go, the knee goes, the foot steps. Coming up, back down, moving away from the ball of the foot, back down the full leg, up the front leg, stretch, release.
The 18 therapies. Let's run through them once more. We've done all the details. I'm not going to talk a lot this time. I'm just going to do it. But before we do it, I'll say we learned these from Maggie Newman. I don't actually know where she got them, and we found them in a couple publications put out by the Chinese government and various health institutes. And, like they always say, the Tai Chi joke is, how many Tai Chi players does it take to change a light bulb? It just takes one, but the rest say, oh, in our school we do that a little differently. That was nice, but we do it a little differently. So what we're trying to present here is our understanding from what we've learned, and as we've explored this. If you find a book, you might see what's in the book is very nice, but a little different. And so we're just going to run through them again. I'm just going to cue you on the moves. I'm not going to try to do all the instruction because we just did 45 minutes of gory detail instruction on each of them. Remember, use the whole body. Everything, even if it's isolated in one place, goes through the whole body. So starting out, turning the head from side to side. Left and right. Again. And then up and down. The front of the body opens. The spine and the neck open. All the way up. And looking down. Bringing the hands in it. Arms swing up. Squeezing a fist. Looking to the left. And looking to the right. You can go ahead and open the chest. Chest opens. Arms are rounded. And now up and down, opening the fists as the hands go up, squeezing the fists as you come back down. 4 total of these. Interlace the thumbs, the palms come up, the shoulders drop, the elbows drop, the hand drops. Watch the left hand through the whole circle, and then watch the right hand through the whole circle. Shoulders drop, elbows, hands, eyes follow the hand. Duck spreads its wings, starting on the bottom of the spine, up, back of palms together, hearts of palms together, vertical line. Draw the line of the muscles in the back, extend them, let them come back to rest. Opening in a spiral. Free the left hand, body turns, follow the hand, coming back to the front. Weight stays 50-50 as you do this. Fingers interlaced. Palms come up, turn out, oval with your head in it. Open to the upper left corner twice. Both sides of the body open. The side you're bending towards opens too. Fingers interlaced, solar plexus, arms turn out. Open to the upper right corner twice, both sides of the body open. Spiraling the body, fists, elbows at your side, open the left palm. Turn the body, keep the weight 50-50. Spiral from the feet all the way through to the eyeballs and back. In all of these movements, there's no holding. You turn to send the hand out. You bring the hand back in. Whole body is open. Turning the hips, wider than shoulder wide. Hands on the hips, thumbs in front. Start in the back. Go around to the left, the front, the right, the back. 4 times one direction. The hips are moving. That's where the action is. Make sure it's the hips that are moving rather than waving your head around. And try to get the motion as round as you can get so it's not squared off. Now 4 times around the other direction, to the right, the front, the left, the back. The action is in the hips. Finish in the back. Bend your knees so you stand up through the body. Back to shoulder wide, fingers interlaced, hands come up, elbows drop, shoulders drop, elbows drop, hands drop. Fold the body over, allow the arms to fall towards the ground, bend the knees all the way up. Shoulders, elbows, hands, folding, arms fall towards the ground, all the way up. Shoulder blades are up, shoulder blades drop. Shoulder blades slide towards your head. Once more. Funky 70-30, wider than shoulder wide. Fists, elbows at your side. Shift to the right, turn to the left, shift to the left, open the front hand, and back. Shift to the left, turn to the right, shift to the right, open the front hand, and back. Feeling that spiral through the body from the rear foot all the way to the front hand. Spirals through the body. C-curve, feet close together, interlace the fingers, hands come up, turning out, oval with your head in it. Take that shape down towards the ground. The shape is more important than how far you go. Bend your knees to stand up through the body. And once more. Rotating the ankles. Hands rest on the knees, 4 times around to the left. Squatting in the front, standing up in the back. The ankles are where the action is. Keep the feet flat on the ground. Weight even in both of them. And now to the right. Feet stay quiet on the ground. Arms are just along for the ride. Nice little massage going through the shoulders. Finish in the back, bend the knees, stand up through the body. Opening the hips, wider than shoulder wide. Sit in the left, open to the right, make sure the left knee tracks the toes. And back. Sit in the right, open to the left, right knee tracks the toes. Feet back close together, folding up the body, hands on the knees, squatting, just go down as far as you go, keeping the feet flat on the ground, let the arms hang, stand up away from the hands, stand up the rest of the way. Your squat finishes when your butt stops moving. Funky African dance move. Wider than shoulder wide. Left hand on right knee, right hand on left knee. Free the left hand. Open the body as you squat. Follow the hand. Standing up as the hand comes down. Right hand, follow the hand. In front of you, it's the body that turns. Take a step back. Step forward with the left. Hands come up, palms facing each other. Palms turn out. Feel the walls of the room as the leg comes up. Leg goes down. Step back. Other side. Forward. Palms face each other. Palms out. And the hero stroll, hand on the hips. Step forward with the left foot, shifting underground, standing up, peeling the rear heel off the ground. Sit down, reach with the rear heel. Peel the ball of the front foot off the ground. Come forward, release the rear foot. Step. Up, down, and back, away from the ball of the front foot. Up, peel the rear heel off the ground. Release and step. One more. Forward. Back. This time when you release the foot to step, let them come 50-50. The 18 therapies. So I think that's the most in-depth treatment we've ever done of them. And it's certainly more in-depth than any single session that Maggie did with us. So this is one of those reference things, and we'll probably never do it like this again. But practice them. They make you feel good. They work through the whole body. They work on specific Tai Chi skills. They're basically great. The 18 therapies.